What a great time for sports shows. I'm telling you, it comes in twos. First there's AIKI no Sora, which is pretty good, and this show which has done nothing but impress me. If you keep up with my channel, I talked about Stars Align in my Fall 2019 Seasonals video, but now I'm going to talk about it in depth because of how interesting it is. So, to go over the main story again, Stars Align is about a kid named Maki who transfers back to his hometown. Toma, who's a boy Maki knew when he was little, asks Maki if he could join the soft tennis club. The boys' soft tennis club is looked down upon by everyone, including the student council president. If they don't produce results soon, the club's gonna get disbanded. Toma really cares for soft tennis more than anyone, so he desperately tries to keep it alive. With Toma recruiting Maki with his better than average reflexes, he gains a person capable of turning the club around. It sounds like a pretty basic sports story, but this show makes it up with its characters. Stars Align is one of those shows where they focus more on the characters and less on the sport. It reminds me a little bit of Run with the Wind, but to a lesser degree. The characters in Stars Align feel a lot like the Run with the Wind cast. As soon as we meet the characters, they all feel like different people. None of them are alike, and each of them have their own problems and conflicts that you learn about later in the show. With Stars Align, it likes to show family dynamics. You eventually learn more about specific characters' living situations. Toma's family gets along except his mother and Toma. His mother feels Toma's too different from his brother Ryoma. Toma finds solace within his brother, who is kind and supportive. Maki's family is very close despite being apart a lot of the time. Although, his father was a cruel man who tormented and still torments Maki by taking money from him and his mother. And that's just some of the dynamics you see in the show. It helps because they really shape how the characters act. They also depict an LGBTQ character in the most realistic way I've seen in a show. In a lot of animes, I always see the quote-unquote gay character as the character who is overly flamboyant or trying to be quote-unquote as gay as possible, and not every gay person's like that. I've met a couple of gay people who still act more masculine, only they like men. In Stars Align, the character who is gay is reserved and shy. I like it because he's not super out there like how most animes portray gay men. He also acts that way because of how his family treats him, which is what I was saying before about how family dynamics shape the characters. There are also side characters who are great as well, like the girl who always shows up to the soft tennis team's practices. They do that thing where the character is extremely unlikable at first, then does a 180 and you'll start to like her. There are reasons why she acts the way she does, and it's very sad, honestly. The coolest part about this show is the family dynamics. Since most of the team has problems at home, a way to escape that is the soft tennis club. Everyone is happy and enjoys being on a team that they love. It's really neat, actually. Another cool thing is the matches. Since the team is still in a rebuilding type of year, the team isn't that great. But when Maki joins, he reforms all the partner pairings, and you get to see how the partners utilize their strengths. They might not be the best players alone, but together, they can work together to figure out how to beat the opponent. The strategy in the matches are nice and keep you interested in the match. The animation's another reason to stick around. I love the style of this show. It looks very stylized and it looks kinda rough, but it moves really smooth. Like the characters look kinda plain looking, but everything moves very smooth. The Slime show was the same, and people praised the animation, even though it was made by 8-Bit, a studio known for destroying light novel adaptations. The Slime show turned out pretty well, and this show, even though it's an original, turned out pretty well. The soundtrack is divine too. I love violin and piano songs, and when they're mixed together as the main instruments, you get some fire tracks like this one. There are some downsides though. When it comes to the actual sport, they don't talk in depth about it. I would like to know more about the rules, some tips on the sport, and some special things that only this sport has, like ways to return the ball either through lobs, slices, etc. I understand that this is a character-focused show, but this show could benefit from having both. Another thing is that Maki gets recruited on the team because of his good reflexes, but this shouldn't automatically make him better than the entire team at soft tennis. Like he joins, he calls the shots, makes the team formations, and destroys all the other members. I get adaptability, but he's never played the sport before. Another upsetting thing is, unfortunately, this is supposed to be a 24-episode show, but the production committee sliced it in half, so the director had to deal with only 12 episodes. He did a very interesting thing and didn't condense the story. With that in mind though, the last episode ends on a huge cliffhanger. It really sucks because learning about each of the families was pretty interesting to me, and with no second season announcement, this has the chance of never continuing. The director is really passionate about his story though, so he's trying hard to make a second season. Another downside is that the team doesn't really feel like a team. Even though all of the characters are getting revealed more and more, they still don't feel close or suffer together through various team-related trials. Occasionally you'll see them practice together, but they don't deal with problems as a team like someone falling behind everyone else, or problems with the actual sport. A sports team can be like a family, and with families you fight, get close, and get comfortable with each other. Right now it feels like they're trying that, but not hitting the trust of a team of something like Run with the Wind. If this is a place to escape, and they really love the team, they should be more involved as a team and deal with team-related problems more. I also feel that this show focuses too much on the other characters. Now, I love character development, but I feel like it's taking too much time to show us things that detract from the main plot. When they showed the other characters' family situations, like the other members of the team, I felt like it served no purpose. Most of the time it's random and it cuts away from the soft tenets that the show's supposed to be about. I understand it's to parallel their club life with their home life and give characters more character, but it's not integral to the plot most of the time. For example, there's one character where he learns that his birth mother wants to talk with him. He learns that she came to one of the matches, but he just misses her and can't see her. Like, it's nice to see and learn about these characters, but it's not involved with the main plot. Maki's family situation actually contributes to the plot because since his family isn't in the best situation, Maki initially refuses Tomo's offer of joining the team. Tomo learns about Maki's family and promises Maki that he'll pay for his equipment and such. There are also other character backstories involved in the plot as well, like the mother who is so overprotective she gets involved with the school to complain about the club. Don't get me wrong though, I like learning about these new characters, but I feel like when you show me backstory or family dynamics, then throw the character to the back burner, it feels like a tease to me. Like I said earlier, it's nice because the club is like an escape for most of the club members, but I'd like to see that expanded on more. Now as an original show, it got me a little nervous because I feel like originals are very hit or miss. I'm glad to say that this is a hit. While it's not the greatest sports show ever, and with no guarantee of a second season, that might turn you off, but it's definitely worth the watch if you like character-driven sports shows or just character-driven shows. It's a pretty unique show, so you should definitely check it out on either Hulu or Funimation. 涙と笑顔が感情を無視して溢れ出す